Thank you very much. I don't know if you all realise what that was. That was the children's breakfast, which was proposed for the honour of the miners everywhere, but after the Brestford disaster. So thank you, Ifton Colliery band, for joining us today. It is very much appreciated. I want to welcome each one of you. It's really good to have so many people involved, especially at these times where we have to be very careful just how many people we have together. It is with great sadness the committee would like to extend to all those whose families are mentioned on the path of those that have died, and also any ex-miners that are living in the village that we haven't been able to invite. Right, I've got a nice long list of thank yous, so please do bear with me, because every one of them are well worth more than a mention. And I'd like to start with the Parish Council. I don't know if anybody knows Helen Williams, who is the current chair of the Parish Council and is representing the Parish Council and also the wider community. They have been fully involved from the start. They became our bankers so that there was an official body overseeing where the money went, and they've done many things since then in financial areas to support the work, and it is very much appreciated. Helen, please take our appreciation back to the council. Secondly, Stan Superstore. We've got Andrew and Rob here today, but there's Pete and there's Justin as well, and David, and so many in Stan's that have helped us, not just with events like this, but events that we've had in the Stewart. They've always been there. They've always managed to get us some extra money from Make a Difference Locally Fund, and without them, I'm not quite sure where we would be. They are also hosting the CCTV. I don't know whether you can see the cameras over there on the substation, but this area is now well covered with CCTV, so if there's ever any vandals, we should be able to identify them. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Can't have enough thank yous. This is one of those situations where thank you is not enough, is it? The words thank you. We ought to have another word to be able to really extend our appreciation for what you've done. Bridgeway Rentals. Stuart is here today. Stuart's the MD, aren't you? Stuart, yes, he's the MD. Where I've had more dealings with his father, Tim. And Tim was the first one to sponsor me on my swim all those years ago, about 4 years ago. I don't know if you remember that. I raised £2,000 on that to start off the fund. And Tim was the first one, and whenever I've been and asked Tim for some money for the project, he's never said no, and that is also really appreciated. Tim also worked alongside the school to be able to produce a storyboard. Now, we've had the storyboards for a while, we didn't have the legs for a long time, and now it's been an awful long time before we've been able to actually place the storyboard. But hey, today we've got it. And Stuart's going to pull off the covers shortly. So please take our thanks back to your firm for all they've done as well. Thank you. Now, Tesco's, I don't know if they're still doing it, but the Bags of Help scheme at Tesco's, where there was 3 projects that the people that use Tesco's had to vote for, and we've got a second place on that, so that's £2,000 on that. That paid for the laying of the steps.
Oh, what's happened now?
No, I'm still there. Yeah, that paid for the laying of the steps, which I think has been a very good bit of work. This is going on and off, Colin.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I'm going to try and continue while Colin sorts that out. Hope you can all hear me. Unfortunately, there was nobody available from Tesco's to come and join us today, which is a shame, but we'll send them the photograph so that they know that their plaque is there to say what they were able to do for us. Okay, Westminster Stone. Is there anybody here from Westminster Stone? I don't recognise anybody. No, but Westminster Stone actually provided us with the sets. That's nearly £1,000 worth. So our appreciation goes to them as well. Is Pete and Terence Penrose here? No? They're the guys that made the sets for us, and I think they did a pretty good job. Ashley Allen is here with his wife Emma, and he put in the floodlight for us. And it's, I don't know if you've been past the statue at night now, but there's a very nice light actually highlighting it. It's a lovely soft light, and I think it's a fantastic job. So thank you, Ashley, for doing that. Priscilla's here, Priscilla Hilton-Jones. Now, we decided to do, well, we got on with these plaques just before lockdown. So guess what? We couldn't have any events to raise the money for the plaques, which was just over £5,000. So it was a bit of a head scratcher, that was. How do we get the money? And I think at one point, we, as a committee, we got a bit down about it. We couldn't see a way forward. But I got in touch with Priscilla, and she came back and said, yes, we'll pay 50% of the cost of the plaques. How wonderful was that? And that gave us another boost, if you like, to find the rest of the money to finish the plaque. So thank you, Priscilla. Please take back to your trust our deep thanks. Heather Jones, is Heather Jones here? No, I can't see Heather anywhere. But Heather came along and saved the day. What did she do? She put up a GoFundMe site to get the rest of the money for the plaques, and it worked, and they got what was left, and that was absolutely wonderful. I really enjoyed the day that I phoned the foundry and said, yes, you can go ahead, we've got the money. So thank you, Heather. If anybody knows Heather, please take our thanks back to her. Now, we did invite Roy and Karen from the Stute, because the Stute has been very, very supportive to us as well, and our committee is a sub-committee of their trustees, because all this comes under the Ifton Colliery welfare thing. So, yeah, if anybody's here, please take our thanks into the Stute and make sure that they know we appreciate what they've done. Margaret Jones. Is she here? No, she hasn't made it either. No, Alan and Margaret Jones are, along with Colin, are the people who are, I don't know what word it is, running the Bersham, the North Wales Miners Trust of Bersham. And that's an offshoot of the Wrexham Borough Council Museum. So if anybody ever wants to go and have a look and see what the conditions were in the mines and get to know more about the mines, are you still doing? The open days start next month. The open days start next month on a Sunday? Yeah. Which one? The last Sunday, usually. Yeah, the last Sunday in the month, starting July. So if you want to go along there and find out more about the mines, that's the place to go. And also they have agreed to archive all our paperwork, photographs, and everything that we found out over the last 5 years. Believe it or not, we started this project in April 2016, so it's been quite a long haul. Now, Stuart Steele, there's Stuart. Now, Stuart, I don't know whether he would like me to call him an archivist, but Stuart is the one that has done all the research into the names and made sure that the right names are on the plaque of those that died in the mine, or at least the ones we could find. So, Stuart, that was one heck of a job. I know it took you hours and hours and hours to do, so thank you for that. And the only other person to thank is our County Councillor, Steve Davenport, who's with us today, and yet he has supported as well for events, as well as being our County Councillor and supporting us from that point of view. So thank you, Steve, much appreciated. Now, there are an awful lot of other individuals. Some of them, I couldn't even tell you who they were, but I hope they get to hear that we have acknowledged their donations, their support in things like, I know I've been stopped in the street, I know Terry has been stopped in the street and given money towards the project, and there's been hundreds of those, and we really, really do appreciate them as well. So that's all the thank yous. So thank you for bearing with me on that lot. Now, we're going to cut the ribbon next. Why is it black? To symbolise coal. What I would like you to do, all those that have been invited, collect a pair of scissors from Ken. All the scissors have been sanitised, and I'd like you to come forward and find a place by the ribbon, and we'll have a grand countdown from 3, and can you cut the ribbon all at the same time? When the ribbon's been cut, Stuart, can you pull the cover off, please, of the storyboard? Thank you. Stuart wants a pair of scissors as well. So please come forward and find a space. Is everybody ready? 3, 2, 1, cut! Hey! Okay. The next bit is to get the cover off the plaques, of which I want to call them my 3 guys, Ken, Terry and Colin. They are ex-miners themselves. They have worked down Ifton Colliery for many years, and I just want them to be able to pull the cover off those plaques. So go ahead, guys, however you can do it. Well done, well done. Right, now the solemn bit. Colin is going to read all the names of those that died in the plague, and that's on that far side, if anybody wants to look at it a bit closer. And when he's read them all out, we're going to have a minute's silence, and then the band is going to play Rally, was it? Last post. Going to play last post.
Well, I've been given the honourable but sad task of reading the names out of the men that we managed to find who went to work but never returned home. I would like to thank Stuart Steele for all his diligent investigative work identifying the men who perished at Ifton Colliery. There will be many more who died weeks, months or years later from injuries or illness sustained from employment at Ifton Colliery. But the mutual respect lives on in the principle of remembrance depicted in this statue. The first name we got is Emmanuel Jones, Thomas Richard Jones, Richard Harris, Martin Wilson, John Price Jones, Edwin Rogers, Sam Wright, John Richards, D. Surtees, E. Manders, William Rees Williams, D. Pugh, William Edwards, S. Evans, W. Evans, William Lloyd, T. Jones, Alan Peat, Thomas Jones, William Henry Williams, Frederick Herbert, D. Evans, Thomas Taylor, Francis H. Thomas, J. Wilkes, E. Williams, George Owen, Douglas Barclay, A. Paddock, G. T. Lloyd, A. Williams, Edward Rogers, Ronald Powell, John Lloyd, John P. Davis, Henry Phillips, Isaiah Smith, E. T. Davis, E. J. Jones, David Roberts, G. Wiles, Richard Ill, Arthur Tunner, Robert Edwards, Frederick Everson, Edward Roberts, John Mitchell, Herbert Morris, Victor Roberts, John A. Richards, Alfred Martin, William Northall, Joseph Lloyd, Norman E. Wilson, Wilfred Pierce, William Alfred Rogers, Charlie Pugh, Harold Edwards, Edward Pennell, Richard Moore, Denzel Jones, George Edwards, Wallace Edwards, Albert Richards, and lastly, Thomas Rex Derrick. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Quite a poignant moment for those families. Okay, well, the next two pieces, Terry is going to read what's on this first plaque here, and Ken is going to read what's on the other one, so that you all know. The thought behind this was that in another 50 years' time, out of living memory, people come along and look at the statue and say, oh, that's a fine statue, why is it here? So we thought we would tell them why it's here.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I take this opportunity on behalf of the committee, of Sue, Colin, Ken, myself, and the late John Stevens, thank you all for the most generous support you have given us in commissioning these magnificent miners statue. You've been absolutely brilliant. And now we can finally complete the project with the 3 top quality plaques, bronze plaques, that enables us to complete this project. And I will now read out what it says on the first plaque. Don't get alarmed, it's not going to take you long. This is the coal miner looking towards...
Get a bit closer, Terry. Get a bit close, can't hear you.
Okay, this is the coal miner looking towards his workplace. He is typical of those who from 1913 to 1968 made their living hewing coal here in St Martins. Being a miner underground was an arduous, dangerous, demanding job that bred belief in mutual dependence. To work in the threatening, dangerous place that was a coal mine was to support and be supported. The miner knew that this spirit of the community was naturally well-supported. For centuries, coal mining at this, the southern end of the North Wales coalfield, has been a central part of the community around St Martins. Ifton Colliery, in the hamlet of Ifton East, which has become part of St Martins in its heyday, the mine employed around 1,300 people. Then we'll go to the second part. Workers came
Bit
from
closer,
distant
Ken.
communities.
Ken, sorry, get closer. Get really close.
Workers came from distant communities such as Staffordshire, South Wales, Lancashire, Yorkshire and the North East. Their arrival diversified a mainly rural community, having an impact on daily life and even dialect. In St Martins, the legacy is the miner's central part in the social fabric of the village. Production ended on the 23rd of November 1968. The closure of the pit brought the ending of coal mining in the community and beyond, a change that had its own profound effect on the life of the village. This sculpture, the work of George Triggs of Oswestry, was unveiled on the 24th of November 2018 to mark the 50th anniversary of the closure of the pit. It commemorates the coal miners' gift to the community and to the wealth of the nation. It represents also the effort made by former miners, their families and local communities in raising funds for this project.
Thank you, Ron. There is something special in my mind, in my heart, that a brass band outdoors gives me goose pimples. So thank you, each and every one of you, for turning up. Terry has got a box there, and in the box there are bags that have got a little postcard in it and one of the medals that the Parish Council helped us produce. So please, as he comes round, can you take one? And you know, it's just a memento of this day. What more can I say? Yes, I do want to pay tribute to my three amigos, to Terry, to Ken, and to Colin. I have been involved in many committees, and all too often there are committee members that are quite vocal but never actually do anything. Each one of these chaps has always had the spirit of the miner and the can-do attitude. Anything that we've asked, anything that we've decided to do, they've always said, yes, we'll do it. They've always been there, they've always put their hands deep into their pockets as well. And I can't praise them enough for what they have done over the last 5 years in bringing this project almost to an end. Our last duty will be to officially hand it over to the Parish Council. Don't quite know when that's going to be yet. I want to finish the paperwork before that happens. But yeah, can I have a round of applause for these three guys, please? Okay, one more, and then we can go and have a cup of tea. The ladies are all set up at the stew. There's chairs there and tables, and you are all welcome to come and have a cuppa. And if the band would prefer a beer, the bar is open as well. Okay, Steve.
Thank you, Sue. And yes, Ken, Terry, Colin, what a fantastic job you've done. I think I've been to nearly every event that you've done, and it's been absolutely tremendous. But Sue mentioned before that 50 years, this is going to be here in 200 years, ain't going anywhere, Sue. For everybody to remember what St Martins did in its past, and remember you guys that were working down there, and the guys that didn't come back. So I thank you for this. It's actually exciting for me to watch it happen. But again, holding all this together is Sue. Sue is a tremendous puller together of people, people to raise funds, and again, she's part of you. She's helped pull this together. So Sue, thank you very much. And again, poor John Stevens, who's no longer with us, who died last year, did an awful lot. Again, he was at every event that I turned up, and he did a lot. And John is sorely missed anyway. So thank you the band, thank you Sue, and thank you the committee.